From Chicago streets to the courts beat, South Scott Dan on the podcast seat. Bulls breaking news, talking stats and views. Every player, every play, we never lose. Horns over hoops, we're the Bulls troop. From game analysis to fan scoop.
What's good, Bulls fans and Horniacs, and welcome back to another edition of the Horns Over Hoops podcast. We are your hosts for the evening, Sal Bass, Scott Berman, and Dan Gracie. Fellas, how you doing? Dan Gracie, thank you for taking time out of your busy day of stalking Angel Reese's DMs for paying us a visit.
Excuse me?
Yeah. What?
Excuse me?
Like, how dare you, man? You enough is enough. You pushed her to the point where she had to delete her entire Instagram account.
I didn't even know she had an Instagram account. Well, I mean, I knew, but dude,
did you guys not?
All of this? No, I'm not okay with
that. Did you guys hear about that, by the way? I mean, it's not a laughing matter. I shouldn't be laughing. It's actually quite serious. Did you hear about that though?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I know Scott heard about it.
About her deleting her Instagram account?
Yeah, so not allegedly. She actually, for New Year's Eve, wore a very revealing dress. I will say that. She looked fantastic, and in on a non bad way. I'm 100%. She looked very nice in it, but she was receiving a lot of explicit and terrible DMs, resulting in her having to delete her entire Instagram page. So she said it before, she didn't want to be viewed in that type of way. And I felt bad because I thoroughly enjoyed her post with her podcast and everything like that. So it's a shame. People, stop being animals. Okay. She's a human being.
Have some respect.
But other than that, how's everybody doing?
I mean, I was doing good until you labeled me a pervy.
Hey, somebody had to do it. You were the chosen one. Scott, how you doing, fella?
Better. I was dying recently. But yeah, I'm doing good now.
Yeah, you were dying. Actually, if I may, do you mind if I tell your story?
Sure.
So all three of us, all three of your co-hosts here were coming down with the string of the sickness. We were a Disturbed song. We were down with the sickness. So wow. The day before we were filming, the day before we filmed this podcast, Scott texts the group and he's like, "Hey, I don't know if I'm going to be able to make it. I woke up with severe abdominal pain. You know, I'm sweating. I'm sick. I'm really sick." And me and Dan are like, yeah, we'll move it. Yeah, that's fine. Just get better. Yeah, just get better, dude. Yeah, are you okay? Anything you can do? And then nothing from him. Not even 10 minutes later, Scott texts us back and he's like, "Never mind. I just farted. I just farted and I'm fine now."
Well, and then after that, it was just radio silence for like hours. And then he's like, I have the sweats. I've been sleeping for 17 hours. It's like, what is happening?
I was having a rough day.
Yeah, sounds like your butthole was too.
That must have been some fart. Fellas, welcome back. I hope everyone's New Year's was great. My New Year's was great. Actually, if you guys, actually, my New Year's, I was sick, so it wasn't that great. So, did you guys' plans go as anticipated?
Yeah, ours went as smoothly as it could have gone. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that me and the wife got the bug from the holidays, being out and about with family and everything.
Yeah.
So, but other than that, I thought, I have nothing to really complain about.
Yeah, 'tis the season. I mean, welcome to living in Chicago. It's 60 one day and then 16 the next day. So it's going to get a lot of people sick. Scott, you actually had the most eventful New Year's out of all of us. You were out till like 3-4 in the morning.
I was not out till 3 in the morning. We went to
a nightmare.
Yeah, we went to a party and it hit midnight. I looked at my wife and said, we need to leave. So, yeah, 12:10, we were out of there.
Yeah, that wasn't the countdown to the new year. That was the countdown to Scott saying, "Let's get back out of here."
You want to know what we did? We didn't watch a ball drop. The house we were at has an automatic cat feeder at midnight, and we literally sat there and watched
Oh my
it.
God. Stop.
This is not that.
What kind of party is this?
Hey, it had a charcuterie board. I was happy.
The
Wisconsin?
cat feeder was a charcuterie board.
No. It just had a charcuterie board.
Oh,
But yeah, that's what we did. We didn't. There's no ball drop. This was way more important. The cat feeder going off at midnight.
that is great. Oh man, I don't know how to I don't know how to follow up to that.
This year, having Christmas and New Year's on a Wednesday, awful.
I hated it.
Having to work Monday and Tuesday, get a couple days off, and then coming back to work midweek, it's terrible.
Yeah,
I hate it.
And there's that awkward phase of like, are you closed from Christmas to New Year, or are you going in? I know that was a common problem. I don't know if you got. I know Dan, you were off, right?
I took the days off. I took PTO to take those days off because if I didn't, then I would have had to work the day after Christmas. And yeah, I mean, I came in the 2 days before New Year's Eve, and that alone was rough for me. Like, I was just like, dude, I don't want to do fuck all right now. I told my bosses that.
It's the best time to work in corporate America because everybody's off and you don't get emails and you kind of can just do whatever thing you've been pushing off. But midweek break, no, I'm good. Let's never do that again.
Yep. Well, fellas, that was New Year, new us, but New Year, same Bulls team. We got a great Bulls show for you tonight. We got some recaps, we got some trade rumors, and if you stick around to the very end of the show, I personally have a big announcement that I'd like to share with the Bulls fans and the Horniacs. So, without further ado, let's jump right in, shall we? Gentlemen, the Chicago Bulls are currently 16-19. They're currently sitting 10th place in the conference, and in the last 10 games, we've won 6 out of the last 10 games for a 6-4 record, and we're currently sitting at a 1-game win streak, having that game being won to the New York Knicks on Derrick Rose Day. Happy Derrick Rose Day, fellas. So what I got to say to you guys is, how have they looked this sample size? These last 10 games, how have they looked?
I mean, if the goal is to keep our pick, then we're looking good.
And Gracie likes that pick.
I want to keep it. This is a good draft class, so yeah, I want to keep it. I want a top 5, even a top 10 pick. I feel like would be good for this team. But no, we've been struggling to hit the 3 a lot, like a lot. Like, guys, like if the 3 is not going in, we need a plan B because it doesn't seem like we have a plan B. But yeah, I mean, it's Bulls basketball. Bulls are being Bulls. I mean, they're good against good teams, bad against bad teams. You know, it's just more of the same.
Same song and dance, right?
Yeah.
Scott Berman, how have they looked?
They can't play bad teams, and I don't get it. Like, how do we get blown out by the Wizards? How do we struggle against Toronto? How do we go to overtime against Charlotte? Like, these are all teams that you should easily win. And then we beat the shit out of New York in Milwaukee. What is this? How do we give up? How do we let the Hawks score? What did they score? Like 60 points in a quarter or something like that? 50 points in a quarter? Something crazy.
It was a 50-point quarter. We were up by 21 points going into that fourth quarter.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I turned that game off because it was a joke.
Yeah. It's like, I don't understand what this team is. So
Well,
you know, we're basically the exact same record that we had last year, but I think because we don't have DeRozan running the team, we have some excuses of we have less star power, but also we shouldn't be doing this. Also, Io's been hurt during most of that stretch, and you can tell that's hurting us a lot on defense.
Yeah. I agree. It looks like those games that we're just going to call them confidence boosters. Like those are those games, you know, your Charlotte, your Atlanta, your Washington, you should be able to roll into those games and handle business fairly well. I mean, that's usually the games where if a star player's got a nagging injury, you can give them a day off and expect the rest of the team to handle business. But in our case, that didn't happen. The Atlanta game blew a 21-point lead to lose the game. I think that was the game we also put up 63 pointers. 60. I don't understand what goes through your mind when you're taking 63 pointers and hitting under 20 of them. I believe we didn't even hit 23s. Washington game, you get rolled by Washington, a team that has literally won what, 5 games?
Yeah,
5 games.
Worst team they're legitimately the worst team in the league.
Yeah. And then you handle Charlotte pretty well. That was the first game that I'm like, okay, Charlotte, we're handling them well. They're a bad team. We're winning. But then you let them crawl back into the game, hit a game-tying three-pointer to send it into overtime. Yes, we rolled them in overtime, but
mind you, that Charlotte game, they did not have LaMelo. They didn't have
Brandon Miller.
Thank you.
Like they were missing their stars.
Taj Gibson didn't play.
That was messed up.
Imagine if he would have. So yeah, that's what I'm trying to say is those should be the teams that you go to town and you roll them and you make it sloppy because you win by so much. But in our case, that didn't happen. But then, like Dan said, you go into Milwaukee, you handle them pretty well, and then you host the New York Knicks, who are arguably one of the favorites to win the East at full strength, and you beat them by what, almost 13 points? So the inconsistency on playing every game to its fullest potential, I think, has been our strongest setback. As Scott alluded to, we are missing probably one of our highest energy player in Io, who's got that injury. And we were missing Giddy for a couple games. I don't know if you guys remember that.
Hold on. So the Bulls we've been like this where we lose to bad teams. We've been doing this for what, like 3 years now?
Yeah, it's been a while.
At what point do you place this whole situation on Billy? Because it's got like, you've been with the team for how long and we keep running into the same mistakes? You know, like what, like, is it lack of motivation with the team? Do they respect you? Is it your like coaching ability overall? Is it your game plan? Like what can we do to stop losing to bad teams?
I like that question. I'll let Scott answer, then I'll give you my answer. I like that.
I think Billy's not the answer for this team. Like you said, it's been a thing. I would say this has been a thing since AK's been here.
Yeah.
So they have not built a successful team. I think we had a plan for a successful team when we brought Lonzo and when Lonzo was healthy. That made sense.
Year one.
Yeah. But when we traded for Vucevic, did not work. It was all, hey, we need another superstar around Zach. Didn't work. Vooch wasn't the same player around Zach. And then we brought all these players in of DeRozan and Zoe, and it was working. And then Zoe got hurt and the team fell apart. So I think Billy does not know how to make adjustments. and he's not the answer. We definitely need a new coach, and I don't think they'll make a change at the end of the year. They're going to keep it the same. There's not going to be a change until they release AK.
Yeah. I think piggybacking off of Scott, like, yeah, you can put a majority. The thing is, in Chicago, when things are going great, we don't put any, nobody's to blame. But then the second something goes wrong, we're quick to throw blame on it, and for right reasons. You know what I mean? But you don't need Billy Donovan to tell the players you're not hitting your threes. Stop shooting threes. Like, Billy Donovan should not. A coach's job should not be, you've put up 50 threes and have hit 10 of them. Stop shooting threes. You, as a professional athlete making millions and millions of dollars, should recognize that your three is not falling. You should crash the lane. Okay. Your coach should not have to tell you, don't leave the open shooter and give him an open shot. Like that Charlotte game, how many threes did Seth Curry have to hit before a Bull finally covered him properly? Yeah. Like, that should be things that your coach should not have to tell you. Where I will put a little bit of blame on him is just not having a plan B. That's all. It seems like Billy, you can spell Billy without the B because he's got no plan B. But when Billy sees a game going astray, he kind of just lets it keep running its course instead of stopping and say, okay, stop, this isn't working, let's change it up. And that's it. But I put a lot of the blame on the players. I put a lot of blames on the player. Again, you should not be playing at the highest level of your career and realizing you're not hitting any shots and continue to shoot shots. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over, expecting different results. So,
right. AK is insane then. This is what you're telling me. AK he's a madman.
AK is insane. Yes. He's putting the same teams together and expecting different results, but we literally have the same record as last year. So yeah, that's what I would say. Yes, Billy, but no, Billy, you know what I mean? What would you credit? What makes this sample size different from the last one? I'll just say that we were having a high energy, high success last 10 games before this one. Now we're kind of not as successful. What would you credit as to being the key point to why this is so different from the last few games? Like, what's changed?
I don't know. Maybe teams have figured out the Bulls schemes. They're continuing to play poor defense. I mean, that's not helping at all.
Yeah.
Kobe has been on a cold streak.
Yep.
So that doesn't help.
Yeah.
I feel like Mataz doesn't get as much minutes as he was before.
Yeah. That's a shame because it seems like they were faulting him for, like, okay, you remember when he got hurt, when Zach kind of like elbowed him when they were both going up, and then he had that like bloody nose. Then the next game he was in the mask and he was playing. I don't want to say he was playing bad. The man had a mask on. How are you supposed to, that mask is hard to see, and then I feel like after that he started getting less minutes than he used to. So what's up?
Well, I think it's also because Pat's back.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah.
So I mean, had to lose minutes to average passive Pat. Sorry,
passive Pat. Scott.
As bad as it sounds, Patrick Williams is back. Is part of the reason that we're struggling. He's actually been scoring pretty well. Like, he's decent on the offensive end. He still can't dunk, and he still tries to dunk on someone every game and misses it. But dude cannot guard a single person. He's always getting burned. That was, I want to say it was the Charlotte game when they were beating them. Pat came back in the game, and then immediately he got burned like 3 plays in a row. Yeah. So that's a huge issue, is he has lost his step. He cannot guard anybody. He can't stay in front of anybody. When I see him on the court, I don't see a difference between him and Dalen Terry. Neither of them can guard anybody. They're always getting beat.
God.
No, I'm dead serious. Like, he's a
No,
better
it's
scorer
fair.
than Dalen Terry, but he's such a bad defensive player. Kobe needs to quit shooting so many threes. How often during the game is Stacey King pissed because he just stops and takes a quick three and misses it?
Mhm.
I think he went 1 for 11 the other day. Why are you doing that?
Yeah.
Like, he's going to have games like on the Knicks game. He was 9 for 11. That was amazing. Sal, he's never going to hit that 10th shot. I know that was a question for you. He's never going to do that. He's never hitting that.
Come on.
But I think he's going to have more games where he shoots 20% from the 3-point line compared to shooting above 50.
Mhm.
And he's such a good driver. When he drives, he is,
Oh my God.
he, like, no one can stop him. And I don't
Yeah.
understand why he doesn't do it more often.
Yeah.
Like, I hate that he has decided his game has to be a 3-pointer. Like, he's such an athletic guard, and the game has changed so much that they're not guarding the paint as much. Start
Mhm.
driving more.
Yeah.
So that, I think we're settling for more threes. There was, we shot 73s a game. Stop doing that.
Yeah.
I think the undiscipline of taking bad threes is our issue.
Mhm.
And players that can't shoot continue to shoot.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Yeah. Yeah. To touch on your Kobe aspect, I think I almost put ourselves, not us three particularly, but Chicago fans, as partial to blame as to why Kobe White now exclusively shoot threes. Because I think that, with Steph Curry being the 3 shooter in Golden State, hitting the ball, hitting the long ball from well beyond the 3, to then Atlanta having Trae Young hitting the, shots well beyond the 3, that with Kobe White pulling up and making a few shots from well beyond the 3, the fans kind of are like, hey, we have our own Kobe White. So it kind of gave us our own thing to look forward to. So obviously Kobe radiates off that. And what does he do? He wants to win the fan over, so he shoots more threes. Could it be coincidental? Maybe. But I think that Chicago fans, Chicago organization made Kobe out to be a 3 shooter, that now he relies too heavily on that. Instead of using it as kind of a tool in his toolbox, he uses as his one and only tool. Because like Scott said, when Kobe crashes the board, he can finish like one of the tops in the league. He's virtually unstoppable when he can finish. But he relies too heavily on that 3. Going 1 for 11, again, as an NBA player, you need to recognize what shots are falling and what shots are not falling. If you are only hitting 1 out of 11, that's your cue to, all right, we're stopping the 3, we're driving the lane, or we're just passing the ball. It's not my night, give the ball up. But at least try a plan B of your own. Crash the board or crash the lane. If it's going in, that's your plan of attack for the night. Not shooting 10 threes and making 1. You know what I mean? So I think that's why Kobe shoots so many threes, is because I think we kind of birthed that, so to speak. I don't know. I mean, does that make any sense to you?
I'm kind of looking at his stats right now.
Mhm.
He went from shooting 8 2-pointers a game last year to 6.
Yeah.
And he went from shooting 7 threes to 8.5. So he's obviously not driving as much, and he's taking the threes.
Exactly. Yeah. That can't happen. Again, you need to, because Kobe's not a role player. Kobe is a key player in this rotation. He needs to recognize that it's not helping his team when he's not making shots. And plus, you could look at, of those, when he went 1 in 11 and he missed 10 shots, how many points did the other team capitalize off of that 10 shots? I mean, that's close to 20 points. Considering if they're all 2-pointers, that's 20-point swing. You know what I mean? That can't happen. We need to tighten that up. He needs to recognize his game a little more. Which is funny. We talk about Kobe because, fellas, the trade rumors are here, and they're great. They're prominent.
They're here.
They're here. For lack of better words, they are here. I love it because it seems like every episode we're getting a different trade rumor. And one of the names I saw was Kobe White being involved in trade rumors. Are you guys willing, is my question, to trade Kobe White? Is he an untouchable name, or is he one of those names that you can part with if the price is right?
I mean, yeah, if the price is right, then why not? I mean, we need clearly, like, hopefully we are doing this rebuild and we don't do it like we did when AK first got here and try to, like, you know, jumpstart it or like cheat the rebuild. Like, just do it right. Get young. If they're offering like a second round pick and some like young player or something for Kobe, go for it. Go for it. What do we have to lose? You know.
Okay. Scott?
I would be fine if Kobe leaves, as long as we keep Io. Either one of those, I'm fine if one of them leaves, but the other has to stay. It's really, I think he's a very replaceable player. He's just a shooting guard that takes too many threes right now. So he's not like, there's no reason for us to keep him. You can find a guy that scores 15 to 18 points a game anywhere. Yeah. So I don't think it would be that big of a deal if we lose him. And if we do lose him and Io's here, start Io. I think you're going to get about the same production.
You might get better production.
Yeah, Io, he actually drives. He's trying to do
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. So I wouldn't be that upset, but I also saw trade rumors of Io. So, and I think Casey Johnson came out that both of them are the biggest trade rumors right now. So who knows what'll happen?
And Io?
Yeah, those are the two biggest. And Vooch is the Warriors really want Vooch. I do love that came out and they were talking about Jimmy and they're like, no, we don't want any part of that guy. We'll take Vooch instead.
Who, the Warriors don't want any part of Jimmy?
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's because like that further proves one of the points I was talking about with somebody. There's certain guys that are empty stats on a good team. Like Jimmy Butler, yes, he'll bring you 25 points a game. He'll grab you a few rebounds. He'll dish out a few assists. He'll bring you some athleticism. But he's also kind of reminds me of a player, and I'm sorry, my brother's a huge Jimmy Butler fan. I'm going to piss him off by saying this, but Jimmy Butler's a room wrecker, man. Jimmy Butler comes to your organization. He throws off the chemistry. He brings arrogance, and it seems like, remember Russell Westbrook, when he gets to your team, he just crumbles the chemistry in the locker room.
He was a cancer to teams.
Yeah.
So same with James Harden. Same thing.
Yeah, James Harden. I get it. When you're that, he is good. I will give him that. Like Jimmy Butler is a phenomenal athlete. Had he had a different mindset, I would have wanted him back. I never would have wanted him gone to begin with because Jimmy Butler is just a great player. But I can understand why teams who are like right there don't want him because they're like, hey, we got our chemistry. We got this guy named Draymond Green. I don't know if you met him. Guy's nuts. Probably shouldn't put him and Jimmy Butler in the same locker room if you don't want an ambulance staged out the locker room every single game. So
yeah, I didn't even think about that.
See that.
Yeah, that I didn't even think about that. My God.
Could you imagine a huddle in the locker room after a loss when you have Draymond Green and Jimmy Butler there? Put yourself in their shoes. You lost by 20 to like the Portland Trailblazers. Jimmy Butler, Draymond Green, both of them are saying it was your fault. Who's going to win?
I mean, I don't know. I'll put my money on Draymond. Draymond's insane.
Oh, yeah, Draymond's crazy. So yeah, I get that. But one of the rumors that I saw, and again, we're now getting away from like, okay, what I'm trying to say is our trade rumors, they come in like phases. Like there's like, we get a trade rumor, we talk about it for a few days, then it just goes away. For us, it was like the Zach to Denver. It came and it went away. Did you see the newest trade rumor that everyone's running away with?
I haven't. No.
That the Bulls are heavy favorites to make a trade to acquire injury forward Zion.
No. That's not true. That's 100% a rumor.
My question to you is, given that it seems like the Pelicans are now touching their toes into being a seller's market, them shopping BI, shopping Zion Williamson, would you take a gamble on Zion Williamson? Because
No.
I firmly
No.
believe that if he is a healthy player, he's a top 20 player in the league. You would not take that gamble.
No, I wouldn't, because I don't think he will be a healthy player in the NBA. I think he's going to Sean Kemp himself and Eddie Curry himself and eat his way out of the league.
That's what Sean Kemp did too. I mean, it's
Okay.
fair. Actually,
all right.
probably closer to Sean Kemp than Eddie Curry. Eddie
right.
Curry
Well,
did
still.
some other stuff we won't.
So I wouldn't take it because I almost guarantee you that Zion is going to get hurt again. He's not going to be healthy enough to play, but I can see the Bulls doing it. Well, I can see Jerry doing it because Zion is a name that will draw fans in and just more money for Jerry.
Yeah.
That's the only reason I can see it happening, but I don't think it's going to happen because it was just a rumor. That was all it was. There's no there. Like Zion's not coming to Chicago. If you are a Zion fan and a Bulls fan at the same time, keep holding your breath because it's not happening.
I will reference you though. How sick would a Pelicans team look of CJ McCollum at the point, a Zach LaVine at the 2 guard, and then a Brandon Ingram at the 3?
I mean, that's a sick
Good.
lineup. I did see rumors of CJ might be going to the Bucks.
Oh, yeah.
So it might be a Dame CJ reunion.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean,
Scotty B?
I don't know.
How do you like Zion?
I would take Zion. I think he's not faking injuries, but he's definitely babying them because he hates being on this team. And I think if he moves to Chicago, we will probably see him play more. He played 70 games last year. So it's not like his career's over type thing.
Right.
Look at Anthony Davis. He did the same shit when he was in on the Pelicans. Well, he did that same shit when he was on LA, but the last couple years he's been playing basically every game. So you have a 22, 25 point scorer in a power forward. We need another big man. So I would take Zion Williamson. It's a lot of money, but again, if he can stay healthy, and I think he's faking some injuries to stay out a little bit longer, just because he hates how bad this team is and how bad ownership is. That a chain of scenery may have him be on the court more. I think if you trade Embiid, you'll see the same thing of he'll be on the court more. He's just being a little bitch because he got called out in Philadelphia.
Yeah. Joel Embiid, man, like that's been a roller coaster. Did you see him like essentially chase after? I don't want to say chase after. Did you see him basically go after that female ref after tossing him?
Yeah.
Like, granted,
is that the ref that threw 2 people out and then called back?
Yeah, she also
initially threw Drummond out.
Yeah, and then she
initially threw Drummond out.
She made some bad calls that game.
So she initially threw Drummond out, and then there's a sound clip somewhere where she's like, I fucked up. He's not ejected. Bring him back. So Drummond comes back from the locker room in, and then a few plays later, I don't know what the call was, if it was Embiid charged somebody or it was a blocking call.
It was a charge.
Yeah. Then it was fine. Embiid took partial to it. Kind of I don't want to say got in her face, but had a few choice words, got teed up, continued because everyone knows Joel Embiid can't keep his damn mouth shut, eventually got tossed. But instead of electing to go to the locker room and have some dignity, chooses to go after her. And I'm like, you have no idea what you're doing right now. You should probably stop and just go to your locker room for your sake. You are about to screw your career up. So,
well, I think I think with that whole thing, it was that, I mean, he's a athlete. Basketball players always like tend to like run down referees regardless and everything. I think it was just more heat of the moment. That whole situation, it wasn't a good look. I'll say that, but I think that was just a natural reaction. But also she made a bad call on that too, because that wasn't a charge.
I agree. Yeah, I agree. I agree. Which actually, just real quick, we don't have to get super into it. Just quick answer: are the players getting a little too confident with their interactions with the refs? The Joel Embiid screaming at the ref and essentially tracing her down. I don't know if you remember Fred VanVleet, like almost. I don't know if he made contact with that ref, but basically called him "you're a little bitch," and I'm almost positive he made contact with him, right?
I don't remember if he made contact with him. But like
it was close.
Was
enough.
that? But Fred had like beef with that ref prior to that game, though, right? It was the same ref that tossed him.
I don't think it was Scott Foster.
I don't think it was Foster.
No. The one where at the end of the game he was like, "Let me just set this straight." Scott Foster, terrible ref. No, that wasn't him. So
okay.
So do you think that they're getting a little too testy?
No, I don't think they're getting. I don't think it's like insane or anything like that. I think like the refs this season haven't been the best. I mean, I've seen a lot of bad calls in like not only Bulls games but other games as well. So I think I don't know. I feel like they need to take betting out of basketball. Like I don't know.
Yeah. Scott's
Scott, you had a smirk. What's going on?
What do you got, Scott?
Betting has ruined so many sports. Like, I enjoy betting on some games, but holy crap, like it's been terrible. People like messaging players after the game. My favorite is KD. He loves to yell, like make fun of fans. He's like, "Yeah, great win for everybody that had me in an over parlay. Go fuck yourself." I love it. KD does not care. But
dude,
betting has ruined a lot of sports because it's just people too worried about things and not actually care about the team. They're like, "Oh, they have to hit this over," and I hate it. College sports are the worst too. But I think the biggest thing with refs is there's no accountability.
Yeah.
Like, all we hear is, "Oh, this ref's not going to play a playoff game or do a playoff game." Cool.
Yeah.
Like, refs should be able to get suspended or fined too. And I think that's their biggest issue is there's been too many soft calls this year. Like, you can't even argue with a ref. You can't even talk to some of these refs and they'll just tee you up immediately. I'm just looking at, like, you guys remember that Boston game where like there was like 5 technicals in a row? Like, those were some soft ones.
Oh, yeah.
Was that the game where Jason Tatum got teed up for clapping?
Yeah, like that kind of stuff.
Yes.
Oh,
yeah.
Fuck.
Like, they've been too ridiculous with these technicals this year. There needs to be some accountability, and I think the players are so sick of these ridiculous calls that they have every right. They're like, "I don't care if I'm going to get fined. People need to hear this."
Yeah.
And Adam Silver is not doing a thing to fix it.
No. Yeah. I'm glad you said that. Yeah, it's getting to a unacceptable level. That's all. And speaking of an unacceptable level, gentlemen, we've gotten to the main idea of today's show, which reinforces the title, and that is the Chicago Bulls need to trade Lonzo Ball.
No.
Yeah, I know. Before the show, Dan's like, "I'm going to fight you for this. I'm going to fight you for this. I'm excited.
I'm going to fight you on this.
I'm excited for this." Gentlemen, one of the Bulls' most expensive assets is Lonzo Ball, and he's become an interesting topic nonetheless because we touched on it last show. Coming back from a absolutely terrible and potentially career-ending injury to coming back on the court, acting like he's never missed a game. He's found himself in an interesting situation in the aspect of he's got 1 year left in his contract, and that's this, and he walks away. He makes a lot of money, and we're trying to find a trade home for him. Dan, you think the Bulls should resign him? I think we need to trade him. Why do you think that the Bulls should resign Lonzo Ball?
Okay, so if we're doing this, if we're doing this whole rebuild situation, then obviously we're going to need a vet.
Okay.
So have Lonzo be our vet. He seems like truly the only happy guy in the locker room, that like vibes well with like literally the entire roster. You can tell that he just loves the game of basketball for what it is. Like, it doesn't matter if he's hurt or not. Like, he's gonna love that game. And he can teach all the young guys the ins and outs. His basketball IQ, his court vision are insanely good. I just like, we don't have to give him like the money he was making. Give him, because he's been hurt so long and he's not getting as many minutes and everything. Just give him like maybe a vet minimum, maybe like a mid-level exception, and have him be our locker room vet, and let these young Bulls go and grow. So that's why I don't think. I understand why people think that Zoe should be traded. I fully get it. But I just would rather have a savvy vet on the team than just get rid of them for like second round picks,
Okay. I respect that. I'll let Scott answer, and then I'll give you why.
It's hard because Zoe has statistically been our best player. I think he's had a positive plus minus in every game except 4, which is absolutely insane. I think there was a 1-point game that we had recently. I think it was the Toronto game. He was plus 25 in that. That's absolutely ridiculous. He makes such a difference when he's on the floor. So he's such a good player. But I don't think we keep him. I think we should trade him. Part of the reason is Josh Giddey. Like, the Bulls are going to re-sign Josh Giddey. They've put
right.
They can't keep both because he's going to need a lot of money. I don't think Zoe's going to take that big of a discount to re-sign, and I don't think he'll want to stay on a rebuilding team either. So who knows if he even wants to re-sign here. So I think give him the chance to go to a contender, give him the chance to like actually play. I think next year he should be able to be playing 25 to 30 minutes a game, possibly even starting, but I don't think
do you think he'll do back to back?
I think he will be next year. I wouldn't be surprised if he's doing it by the end of this year. Yeah. We already saw him in that Charlotte game. I think his limit was 20 minutes. He played almost all of overtime. So he's not afraid to be playing these minutes, but I think this is the time to trade him because he has shown that he can play longer, and when he is on the floor, he's such a game changer. So as much as we love him, he's got a pretty high value, even though it's not going to be as high as we want, just because who knows how many games, if he can play back to back, like that's going to be a struggle in the playoffs for these teams if they really want to give money or give some decent assets for a guy that may not be able to play back to back. But I think we need to trade him just because if we don't trade him, we're not blowing it up.
It's more or less what I was going to say. So why the Chicago Bulls need to trade Lonzo Ball? It's the same reason why they traded Derrick Rose. Okay. It's not the injuries. It's you need to move on. I would love if Lonzo Ball would accept a mid-level exception and came back and mentored the next great, point guard that we pick up either in the draft or through a trade. I would love that. But what people got to understand is Lonzo Ball is not 35 years old. Lonzo Ball has not had a lucrative career like a Chris Paul where He's had a long, healthy career, and it's coming to an end. So he's got a Lonzo Ball is still in his 20s. He's very much coming off of a gruesome, not gruesome, but terrible injury where it almost ended his career. This man needs to make every dollar he possibly can. So what I'm afraid of is that the Bulls are going to recognize that, we have a point guard. Let's take a gamble on him and let's give him the money. And what happens after that? Oh, well, now he just injured himself. He's back in the injury game. We were missing him for another 2 years, and we just paid him $40 million a year. Now we're back to a Zach LaVine. So why I think we need to trade him is because teams aren't stupid. This is why nobody has made a pass for a Lonzo Ball yet. People know that besides given his injury, I want to stop talking about his injury because everyone knows his injury. He's on an expiring contract. Why would you trade for somebody who they can just get for nothing next year? It's not like he restructured. You know what I mean? I would love Lonzo Ball. I think since he's been back, like Scott said, he's probably been our best player. Why he's coming off the bench still is beyond me, and I think that's just because who do you move to the bench at this point? But
right.
We need to trade him. It's got to happen. He is the chosen one. And I'm saying this on a completely unbiased level. I want to see that young man go to a better team. I think that I want to see Lonzo on a team like the Knicks, like the Thunder. Not saying that I want him to go there. I want to see him on a team where he's going to help win a championship, not help get past the play-in tournament and into the fucking first round. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I love Lonzo Ball, man. I'll be honest with you. I owe you guys, I owe Lonzo, I owe Chicago Bulls fans an apology when I say that.
Hey, real quick, Scott. Yeah, I'm looking right at you.
Yeah.
Do you have something
I did
to
say
say
that earlier. Yeah. I talked a lot of shit about Lonzo the last couple of years.
Yeah.
Partially because I thought no way in hell that guy was going to come back. And what did he do? He came back to become I don't think he hasn't missed a step since he's come back. Like, what an amazing surgery and comeback that he's had, and what he's gone through. I wouldn't be surprised if more players start doing that. So I do owe an apology, mainly to Dan.
Yep.
Lonzo, I really hope you, like Sal said, go to a contender, be a full-time player. Like, I want to see him become a starter again. I would love for him to stay on the Bulls because I was 100% wrong on him. And I thought his career was done, was ready to move on from him. But he showed me up. He showed me wrong.
You ready for this comparison?
I think I was just being selfish with the no trade.
Lonzo Ball is last year's Alex Caruso.
Just like a
fan favorite. Fan favorite. We want to keep him, but we're like, you know what? We suck. We have no direction. Go to another team, win a ring. It's kind of like that's exactly who he is. He not necessarily
we didn't do that with DeRozan. Fuck.
Well, DeRozan, you can see what's going on in Sacramento.
In Sacramento, right?
That is a sinking ship. That is a sinking ship. And also, now that you mention Sacramento, with that being a sinking ship, now would be a good time to see if we can call over there and see if they have any assets to give up. I would gladly take a Malik Monk, I guess a Kevin Huerter. Who knows? Maybe you can even.
They're playing Kevin Huerter wrong over there. They are. He's a catch and shoot guy. They're having him shoot off the dribble. Like, that's not his game.
Yeah. Oh, I believe you. Just now's a good time. Whenever you hear that a team is sinking, I'll just say it again, a sinking ship, it's probably not a bad idea to call over there and see if some of their assets are cheaper. Who knows? Maybe you can even find a way. I'm not saying it's going to happen.
Nope. Not getting De'Aaron Fox.
I'm not.
Get out of here with that. Get out of here with that.
See what the price tag is. Who knows? Maybe Fox would come.
Fox for,
I don't want to say cheap,
Zach?
but no, because I wouldn't take that trade if I was I wouldn't take that trade if I was a GM. I would say go pound sand unless I have like confirmed evidence that De'Aaron Fox is not going to play and not going to resign and all that. Maybe, but maybe still not
To the
even
Bulls?
then. Yeah, if you're the Sacramento Kings, would you trade De'Aaron Fox for Zach LaVine?
Is he on is Fox on an expiring contract or anything?
I don't know. I know he signed one of the biggest contracts in NBA history not that long ago. So I would say he's still probably got a few years left.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
But maybe like, we'll revisit old trades. Maybe like a Zach LaVine to, Torrey Craig for a Malik Monk, a couple picks. You know what I mean? I wouldn't mind that. But
I would laugh so hard if Zach and Debo are back on the same team. And it's a bad team.
They're a little going out of business sale. Maybe we go poke around and see what we can get. That's about it. Scott?
The ball wouldn't move if those two were together. Like,
I love it.
It would be just like the Bulls last year. Let's ISO everybody. It'd be terrible. There's no way they would do that.
Yeah.
But no, the Bulls aren't going to get real players. Just understand that. What they're going to try to get is draft capital, I think. And it's not going to be good draft capital. So,
no.
What they should be going after is players, like young players that didn't live up to the hype where they were, or showed hype like 1 or 2 years and then have fallen off, that need a change of scenery. That's what they need to be going for. As bad as it sounds, Zion Williamson, like that type of player, like someone that has shown that they can be a really good player, but they either get hurt or they just do not want to be there. So that's who they should be looking for.
Brandon Ingram, Zion Williamson. Would you okay, because it wasn't an official trade rumor. I just saw it. Would you roll the dice and take a gamble on being the third team for a Jimmy Butler trade and sending Bradley Beal to Chicago? Would you roll the dice on Bradley Beal?
Nah.
He does not fit there. And I don't know. I don't see, it doesn't make a difference for us. How does that help us in the future?
Yeah.
That's my issue.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's why I wouldn't do it. I don't see how that benefits us.
Okay. Or, no, I'm just kidding. I always been a Bradley Beal fan. That's all. So yeah, who do you think is the most tradable at this point? I'm just going to ask because, like, I don't really think there's any real trade scenarios that we've seen.
No,
I think they're all been speculation and hearsay.
I would say Kobe's the most tradable. I mean, he's got
like play on words there.
I didn't mean to do that.
Don't lie.
No, honest to God, I didn't mean to do that. But no, I would say that Kobe is just because he's young. He's on a very good contract. There's room for him to grow. Last year, he was competing for the most improved player. Like, yeah, he's been cold the last couple of games, but I mean, there's still room for improvement. So I can see a team, taking a chance on Kobe, seeing what he's got.
Okay. Do you think that he's like, I was gonna say, you would be willing? Do you think that it's beneficial to let him go over keeping him?
I mean, depending on what we get back for him,
Okay, that's a good answer.
It all depends on the return.
Scotty B, most tradable player.
I think Vucevic. He's
Vucevic.
I would say he's playing the best he's played on the Bulls. Like, he's shooting really well from three. He's still getting 10 rebounds, should be 15 to 17 if he wouldn't just tap it out. But
yeah,
going to a place like the Warriors would be perfect for him, because all he needs to do is literally that tap out would work because most of the team is out by the 3-point line. And you have Curry would be perfect for him because he is able to get space and open the floor for everybody. So I think Vooch is probably the most likely to get traded. I feel like Zach doesn't want to leave. So
yeah, I get that
I would be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if we kept him. Also, I wouldn't be surprised if no one left. So
Bulls basketball,
who knows?
baby.
I could really see the Bulls trading no one, and then they'll be like, well, we're going to make all these moves in free agency. And it's just the same thing over again, kind of like last year. But no free agents are going to want to come here.
No. That's something we've said repeatedly. No free agents come here, and why?
It's been like that for years.
But why? That's exactly for a team, and you guys don't have to answer this. Hypothetical for a team that has 6 banners in the United Center, for a team that is amongst the top tier as far as history, for a team that has spawned the greatest basketball player of all time in Michael Jordan. Why are we having trouble bringing big name free agents here? The weather, sure. Okay. You play 4 months, 5 months out of the year.
I feel like the whole weather excuse is bullshit, honestly.
Exactly. Because people just travel more often. I mean, I get it. It's
Plus,
time away from your family.
You're a basketball player. You're traveling anyways, and you're playing indoors.
Yeah. But let me give it to you. Like, dude, weather in Chicago is terrible. If I didn't have so many ties here, I would probably have moved by now. But at the same time, I'm not making $100 and something million a year. You know what I mean? Why are we having such a difficult time bringing in superstars here? Like, it should be a no-brainer. I mean, maybe it's just me because I'm a unk. And like I lived through the 90s and I just appreciate, or maybe because I live here, but what is it about Chicago that is not bringing in superstars? Like that's been boggling my mind for years, because Scott is absolutely right. Not only do we not attract big name free agents, we don't make blockbuster trades to acquire people here. And it's a shame because we're a major market team. We are a second city to New York. Like, why are we not bringing in big names?
It's got to be ownership, front office.
Sure.
You know?
Yeah. No,
I mean, that's pure speculation on my end, but like,
oh yeah,
that's the only thing that I can like really chalk it up to. Like, younger me wishes I could have played for the Bulls only because I would be able to see how it is on the business side of it. Like, is Jerry that bad of a owner where he doesn't like to the roster? Is he bad to the roster? Is that why people aren't coming over? Is it the front office because they're so incompetent? Like Garpax and AK, because this has been going on since the Garpax era. Is it because of that? Like, the whole weather situation, I do think is bullshit, like I said earlier. So like, yeah, I don't know, but I can only speculate that it's like more on the business side than the actual basketball side. Why people don't want to come here.
I see that aspect a little bit more, just because of the fact that our history and all that aside, is I do think that the Bulls, I don't want to say front office, but the Bulls executive have a nasty little habit of putting, I don't want to say non-qualified people at the position, but maybe they give underqualified people a chance to shine. Like, who knew, what did AK do before he became our GM?
Yeah, the Nuggets.
What did
he drafted the Joker?
AK drafted the Joker?
He lucked into
getting
the Joker. He was like a scout.
Yeah,
I want to say he wasn't the GM.
Okay,
but like when we first got AK, all the linkage was back to Denver and the Joker, and that's why he's going to be great.
When I'm thinking of a GM, though, I'm thinking of like, perfect example, a Pat Riley, a man who's been in the league, has some success, and knows what players need to be put together to win a championship. That's what I'm thinking of a GM. I don't think the Bulls have ever come close to even sniffing a player of that caliber. Coaching candidates. How many coaching candidates have we passed up that like when Mark Jackson wanted to coach here? We've had so many big name coaches that we've just passed on. And it's like, why can we not just hire the right guy for the job? Why do we have to give a job? Nothing against Billy, but like, why do we have to give a job to either a college coach who had a lot of success in college or somebody's shooting coach somewhere? It's like the Bears. Bears never go after the great coach or the coach that'll put them over the top. It's always somebody's defensive coordinator from like Jacksonville, where they're terrible. You know, it losing my mind over this. I'm sorry, but
breathe, woosah. But yeah, we probably will never get like a big free agent ever. We got close with the big three when LeBron and Wade were supposedly come here, but
yeah,
we couldn't get all three with Bosch, so they went to Miami instead. We all know that story.
Yeah, but again, why did they want to come here? Because of a player that we drafted. Like, it's not like, okay.
Well,
yes, you can argue that
was the history of the organization. LeBron being a big Michael Jordan fan, and then Wade being from Chicago.
Yeah. Mike.
I mean, that plays into it. You're done.
Yeah. Again, that's the history, but what made them not pull the trigger? Sorry, terrible wording. Chicago.
They couldn't get
Melo literally came out and said he
Melo
didn't sign with Chicago because he heard the behind the scenes stuff with management was so terrible.
I forgot about that.
Yeah. And I'm just kind of going off what I've heard from the White Sox because Jerry Reinsdorf also runs that. They're so behind the times on all their analytics that's part of the reason too is people don't want to go there because everything they do is so behind the times. Nothing's up to date. So I think it's ownership. I don't think AK has full approval to do whatever he wants.
Mm-hmm.
So that doesn't help. And the coaches never have full approval to do whatever they want. That's the reason why Tibbs was fired, because he pushed back so much.
Yeah.
Yep.
So plus he was playing starters 40 minutes a game when we were up by 20.
Yeah, but we were winning Eastern Conference.
We were winning games, though.
We were winning games. We're winning 60 games. I don't even think we'll play 60 good games this year. Forget about win. I don't think we'll ever see 60 wins. We probably won't even see 60 wins in our lifetime.
Maybe.
All right, let's get positive here. Our next topic here. Let's get positive here, because every time I see this person's tweet, I get positive. We're moving on to Ask a Horniak, and we only got one question because of the holidays, and it comes from one of our biggest fans, Samadi Yee. Samadi, how you doing, fella? We enjoy. I'm a big Samadi Yee fan. One of these days, Samadi, just come on the show. We gotta go one-on-one with Samadi. One of our biggest supporters,
live in person.
Oh yeah, fans, let us know. Would you like to see a live Samadi Yee Ask a Horniak? That'd be dreaming come true for us. But anyway, Samadi Yee asks, what is our future outlook on these guards? He's talking about Io, Kobe, and Giddey, and he says, who do you think will be on the team? Great question. Dan Gracie, what is your future outlook on?
Well, I think it's gonna be Lonzo. No, I'm just kidding.
I did like how he didn't even include him.
Yeah, I thought that was odd, but okay.
Fitting, but okay.
No, I see Giddey starting, and then like we said earlier, either Kobe or Io are going to be off the team, and then the other one's going to be on the team coming off the.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, if we trade Zach we do end up getting rid of Zach, then Kobe will probably start at the 2. So
Yeah. So who do you think will of the 3? Who do you think will still be on the team?
Giddy, 100%.
Okay.
We traded AC for him. We have to maximize that.
I like it. Scotty B.
Can you repeat the question?
What is our future what is our future outlook? Dan Gracie over there flexing in the corner. But what is our future outlook on the guards? Io, Kobe, or Giddy? And who do you think will be on the team? Most likely be on the team.
I think they keep, they resign him. I really think they do. Like, he's been flirting with the triple double every game, and I feel like he's getting better shooting. He's getting better at defense. I want to say it was like it was either the Charlotte game or the Bucks game where he was just unstoppable. Like, no one could get past him on defense. So he's shown that he's getting better. Like Dan said, we traded for him. So I really think we have to re-sign him. And I think he'll turn out to be a good player. I would love Io to stay. And really, I think because he's a Chicago guy, they may try to keep him. And I think he has the most potential out of him and Kobe because he's gotten better every year. Kobe's kind of just gotten his emergence the last couple of years, but he's worried too much about hitting threes than actually scoring and like helping the team as much. So I could see Kobe going to a contender that needs it. Really, I think he would fit well with the Mavericks because Clay has not worked out, and he could be that catch and shoot guy that Clay should have been.
Yeah.
And Zach, I think they have to trade Zach this year. They can't keep him. You have to do that rebuild. You have to blow it up. So I hope they trade Zach. And really, if he goes to Detroit, I think Detroit will be a scary team. They're already starting to look really good. So if he goes there, I don't think he'll go to Denver. It doesn't make sense for him to go there, but someone will pick him up.
Rockets.
But
Rockets good.
Yeah.
Rockets.
He'll go. I really think
Orlando.
we trade Zach. Well, Orlando, I don't know if they'll trade because I think they're ready to just like get a good draft pick and then everybody is back next year.
Yeah.
And they just are better. So I don't see them making a trade.
Or
what they really need to do is just whoever our medical team is, just they need to be fired immediately. Like 3 players have the same injury. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Is that what happened to Suggs?
Suggs?
I'm not sure. Yeah, didn't he? He had a knee injury. I don't know if it's the exact same as what the Wagner twins had, but
no,
it's insane how many players
it's still crazy.
Got messed up on that team. Like,
oh, wait a minute, didn't one of them have an oblique strain too? Because they had the same thing as Paolo.
Yeah, it was one of the.
That Wagners. It was one of the Wagners had it.
Jalen Suggs was a lower back injury. Yeah, either way. Yeah,
they need to fire that whole medical team.
Medical staff. I've been saying that I've been saying the Bulls need to fire the medical staff since the Derrick Rose days. I'm sure I'm not saying that. I'm not saying they're still there. I'm just saying that I've been saying I disliked how we conduct our medical staff for a team that's sponsored by Advocate, which is one of the biggest hospital organizations in Illinois. We have a terrible medical staff. I'm calling you out. But reeling it back to Samadi's question, future outlook on guards, I can see Io taking a bigger 6-man step. I can see Kobe sliding into the starting guard position once we do unload Zach. Unfortunately, I wish we could keep him. And as far as Giddey, I see him obviously signing an extension, and being our starting point guard going forward, and could even be the face of our franchise if he stays on the up and up. Let's just face it, the man's registering or close to a triple-double almost every time he touches the court. I could see him quickly emerging as being one of the faces of this franchise. So, especially depends on what ground zero looks like after we trade everybody. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
So who do I expect to still be on the team? Ultimately, Giddey. I think Io's got some trade assets to where if you need to dangle him in front of the face of another team to get a good player, I think he could be a good throw in. Kobe, I can see him being traded for some draft picks if the right deal comes around. But ultimately, I think Giddey is one of those borderline untouchable players on the team. So. Yeah. Samadi Yi, another fantastic question. My goodness. Samadi, invitation has been extended right here. Here it is. Huh? Live Ask a Horniak featuring Samadi Yi. Let us know if you're live. Look at that. It's pretty cool. I got like the microphone in my hand. It's like I'm handing him the mic. Thank you, Samadi. If you don't follow Samadi on X, go follow Samadi. But gentlemen, I've been putting off this Hornsmore for the long. I just spoiled it. We're doing Mount Hornsmore. I've been putting this one off for a while because of some recent controversy with a couple of top 5 lists I made as shorts. But Dan Gracie, you're gonna love this. You're gonna stand up and do a cartwheel for this. But
I can't do a cartwheel, so I probably won't.
Well, yeah, you're 36, so you probably shouldn't.
Yeah, closer to my 40s and 20s. Yeah, and die if I
but. Yesterday was Derrick Rose Day. Now, we already did top 5 Derrick Rose moments, so that's not it. But somebody who was a speaker, who was one of Derrick Rose's teammates, was Dan Gracie's favorite Bull almost of all time in Kyle Korver. And something that a lot of people don't know about Kyle Korver is that Kyle Korver was a big fan of Linkin Park. So today, finally, after almost a year and a half of being in the podcast game, we are finally going to do what is your Mount Hornsmore of top 5 greatest Linkin Park songs?
Fucking dumb.
What do you mean that's dumb? That's
okay.
Give me 5. Like this one, like give me your 5 and then give me your honorable mentions.
Well, it's hard because like I always end up like crawling to this answer, and it leaves me like searching for somewhere I belong.
Yeah. Does it leave you numb?
I mean, when I get there, I get numb. But then after a while, I find a place for my head.
Oh, jeez.
If you're a Linkin Park fan, then you'll see what I was doing there.
Oh,
So, okay, my top 5. I've never given this any thought at all.
No particular order.
I guess, I'm not going to do an order. I guess I would do Crawling because that's the first song I heard by Linkin Park. Oh my God, I'm going to turn into a fucking Linkin Park nerd right now. I'll do One Step Closer to the Edge. I would do. Hold on. Let me get my phone. I need some. Hold on.
I would think you would have had this like rapid fire rifled away. Boom, 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 boom. There it is.
No, because I can't remember some of the names of the songs on Meteora. Oh, Don't Stay.
Don't Stay.
What was that? 3. Another one for Meteora would be Figure 8, or sorry, Figure 9. Okay. And then I get one more, right?
Mm-hmm.
What I've Done. Fuck it. What I've Done off Minutes to Midnight.
That's
Transformers.
That's a great song. Very underrated song. Scotty B. Oh, it's a single. That's right. Scotty B. We'll do top 5 yellow cards next time. Yellow card songs next week. But today, give me your top 5.
I only know one yellow card.
I can't name 5 yellow card songs.
Is that Park Avenue or Parkway Avenue? Ocean Drive. What was it called?
Ocean Avenue.
Ocean Avenue.
I couldn't tell you. I don't know the names of songs. So
Hello, we're white and from the suburbs.
I can't tell you this. I love the Jay-Z album with None and a Numb Encore. That's a great song. Jay-Z's a piece of shit, but
the album
it's a
is
great
called
song.
Encore. I'm
All right.
pretty sure the album's
Oh.
called Encore.
Yeah. That song is great. Other than that, I don't know. One Step Closer to the Edge.
Okay.
I really don't know names of songs. I couldn't, if I look at a name of a song, I have no idea what it is. So I'm going to pass on this just because I literally do not know what any of these songs are. I will listen to music just in the background. If someone tells me what I'm listening to, I have no fucking idea. I just know, yeah, this is it. I could not tell you the name of any song.
Scott's top 5 for Linkin Park is What I've Done, Crawling, One Step Closer to the Edge, The End, and then Emptiness Machine with their new singer, because she's really good.
Sure.
Yeah.
I probably do enjoy them. I have no idea what any of those songs. I know like what 2 of those songs are. I literally do not.
I'm gonna tell you right now. You do enjoy those songs.
Yeah, exactly. See, I don't know the names of songs. I could not tell you the name of most songs. It's just on, and that's it. I never care to look up what song names are. I'll just put on, like on Spotify. I've been listening to a lot of King Buffalo. Couldn't tell you the name of any of their songs. Which song is what? Couldn't tell you.
Bro.
But do you know what? I've been listening to them for the last like 4 months. But if someone tells me, "Hey, show me a good King Buffalo song," I don't know. I'll click on the first song that shows up on Spotify. I don't know the name of any of them, but that's the type of thing I'll do with music.
The song is Mammoth. If you listen to King Buffalo, listen to the song Mammoth or Loom.
When in doubt, Scott,
I don't know what either of those songs sound like until I play it, and I'll be like, "Oh yeah, that's a good song."
Scott, if you're ever in doubt, do what everybody else does and just sing like the first 5 words of the chorus, and they think how everyone thinks that's like the song name when they like, oh yeah, isn't that song called "Crawling in My Skin"? You know,
fucking that reminds me. Freshman year of high school. Freshman year of high school.
Oh boy.
So the whole emo punk scene was like alive and well at that time. Some girl asked me, "Hey, what's that AFI song called where they're singing about girls not great?" And I'm just
it's Girls Not Great, isn't it?
Yeah, it's called Girls Not Great. He doesn't say the name Girls Not Great in the song whatsoever. And I told her, "Oh, the song's called Girls Not Great, the song you're looking for." And she's like, "Well, they don't say the name in the song at all." I'm just like, they don't have to.
There's nothing that says.
Like, there's like A Day to Remember. They have a song called I'm Made of Wax, Larry. What are you? Or some shit like that. They're not going to say that in the song at all.
No.
Like, just because, oh my God. I love music and I get triggered about this shit. So that's all I'm gonna say.
Oh, how do I follow that argument? Okay, I actually do know the names of the Linkin Park songs I like, not because I study them, but just because I don't know. I make mental storage that way. I don't know, whatever. I think top 5, I'll go number 1 of all time would be Paper Cut. Dude, you knew where you were the first time you heard Linkin Park, and it was Paper Cut. Second that CD dropped in, you knew that this band was going to be great.
What's the name of the CD?
Hybrid Theory.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just checking.
Just checking. Yeah. I was not a big fan of Reanimation, so no songs from there. I actually hated Numb. I don't think it was good until we played it 5,000 times.
It was a radio song. It was fun.
Let me guess. I'm gonna automatically throw Heavy as the Crown up there. It is so good. That new singer is really good. No one will ever replace the great Chester, but this band, this new this path that they took, really good. New Linkin Park is great. Somewhere I Belong is not one of my top 10, but What I've Done is great. Was that Across This New Divide?
Yeah, and just New Divide.
New Divide.
The Transformers songs.
Faint.
Faint's a good one.
Oh, I forgot about Bleed It Out.
Bleed it out, digger deeper, just to
Yeah.
throw it away.
The like the dance that he does in the music video is a little weird, but like the
So here we go. For
like you know what I mean? So yeah.
Oh my god! Stop! I'm being a nerd.
Hey man, Linkin Park is one of the greatest bands of all time in our generation. One of our goats.
They were the first band I really got into by like myself without like my brother showing me a band or something. So yeah.
Yes.
They hold a special place in my heart, but I've moved on from Linkin Park.
Yeah. No, you did? You went, are you gonna go? Okay. Real talk. Is
No, like I'm
in August.
No.
Really?
And what I'm
August 11th.
And what I'm I'm good. I'm fine.
Whatever.
And what I mean by like move on is like my musical taste from like I'm not into new metal anymore.
No,
you know?
he's into like
I'm into I'm into classical synth pop.
He's into stoner rock.
I'm into stoner rock, psych rock, black metal still. Deathcore. Okay. I'm all over the place, but everywhere but new metal.
Insane Clown Posse.
No. It's a hard no.
Big violent J guy.
Shaggy. What's it's Violent J and is it just Shaggy? Shaggy shit pants or some shit?
Shaggy too dope. Shaggy too dope. I don't know. It was something like that. He's Danny 3 dope.
I drink nothing but Faygo all day.
Yeah. All right, this is not becoming an ICP show. All right, so that was Mount Hornsmore. If you want to see your Mount Hornsmore, leave us a comment. We'll accommodate it. I knew Dan would like this one because big Linkin Park guy. So, fellas,
but hey, Sal.
Yeah.
What's this big announcement you have?
Oh, all right. Clearing my throat for this announcement. So, as everybody knows, I'm not one to draw attention to myself or any accomplishments, because I like to stay very humble. But when I do get some news that very excited, I'm very passionate about, and just makes me laugh and be happy, something to wake up and put my best foot forward for, I do have to divulge it. And as you know, we at the Horns Over Hoops family are family nonetheless. We're an ever-growing community and an ever-growing family. And it is with my greatest, humble, is with my honest pleasure and privilege that I like to announce to the Bulls fans and the Horniacs that we will be expecting Baby Bass in 2025. Baby Bass is coming August 11th, 2025.
Look at you.
Yeah.
Congrats, my guy.
Thank you.
My guy.
Thank you.
Another one.
Yeah.
Another one.
August 11th, 2025. I'm sorry, August 14th, 2025. Baby Bass. So thank you.
Awesome.
That was a big announcement. Thank you. Yeah. Horniac in the making. Literally in the making.
You're gonna name it Dan, right?
I
think so.
Dan Bass.
Yeah, I'm gonna I will
Tell me all about Derek.
You will. Oh, jeez.
No, I wouldn't be surprised. You should name it Derek. Derek would be a good name.
You should name him Derek. That'd be
maybe
Derek Bass.
Derek. So yeah, that was it. We haven't gone as far. I mean, we have some names in the shoot, but gender wise, we don't know anything yet. Just
right.
I think we should let the fans name your kid.
Yes.
Oh boy, no, we're not doing that.
Yes.
Whatever, do it. Yeah, we'll do it. Yeah.
Yes.
Fans, what do you think we should name? What do you think we should name I'm settling for
I hope the name is Bango.
Bango Bass. As long as it's not big ol' bass.
Or big mouth
okay.
bass.
Big mouth bass. That's me. I'm the big mouth bass. But yeah, that's it. Yeah, fans,
seriously,
we'll
that's
put
awesome.
the poll out. Thank you. Much appreciated. Gentlemen, do we have any last words before we cut out of here?
Yeah, Sal's having a baby.
Yeah, not me in particular.
He's growing it.
What?
He's growing in his belly. With
not
modern
even-
science, there's nothing that can say that he's not.
The only thing growing in my belly
He's
is saturated fat and carbohydrates. It's the only thing growing there. What do you got?
Well, it's January, so it's cold. Stay warm out there. Stay warm out there. See red. Yeah, follow us on Blue Sky. Follow me on Blue Sky. I'm on Blue Sky.
Oh, you got your own Blue Sky?
Yeah, I'm out there.
Ah, there you go. Very good. Nice.
Yeah.
Scotty B, what do you got for us?
I don't have much. Yeah, I got nothing.
Have some soup. It's cold.
Do not expect any moves by the Bulls. That's my thing. Like, get your hopes up that it might happen, but expect disappointment.
Yeah, more or less. Let's see, what do I got for you guys? I got an important thing. Head over to our YouTube page. I started putting out shorts called Guess This NBA Player. I give you a silhouette. I flash 5 clues on the screen, and I see if you guys can get it before the end of the video. It's been catching on, so go over there, give it a guess. Follow us on all our socials. We're really active on Twitter during the games. Come and talk Bulls with us. We love talking Bulls with our fans. Join our Discord. We're an ever-growing community in there. Our admin puts on a great Discord. Check out our Derrick Rose episode if you hadn't. It was a good episode. We broke down National Derrick Rose Day. That's it. From everyone here at the Horns Over Hoop Studio, we like you guys to see red and go Bulls. Good night, everybody.